the side stories. I think I have 6 to go. Well, yeah, 6. I'm just gonna be looking around for a little bit, just doing whatever. Okay, what is this? Oh, I didn't even realize. Respect 2. Hmm. Okay, I guess now I'm going to start balance. Natsuki! While Natsuki is messing with the orientation of her manga in the closet shelves, Suri approaches from behind and pulls her into an embrace. What? Hi. Hi. The literature club has been in full swing since Natsuki joined, including her. The club is now comprised of 4 members: Suri, Natsuki, Yuri, and Monika. Each club member has received a day in the spotlight to share all of their favorite kinds of literature with each other. Natsuki was first and shared her passion for manga. Then Suri shared her love for poetry, as well as she goes about writing it herself. Monika, who has multiple literary interests, decided to focus her day on short stories. And finally, Yuri managed to demonstrate her obsession with fantasy with a little help and encouragement from Suri. After the week was spent on their presentations, Monika decided to give the club members this next week to freely explore each other's literary interests. Suri, having spent most of her time in the club so far with Yuri's fantasy books, is rather excited to begin her journey into Natsuki's manga collection. I want to read it to you. I want to read it with you today. Tell me which one I should pick. Well, it depends on the kind of stuff you like. I mean, there's like romance, drama, comedy, mystery. I like all of those things. Suri reaches out and pulls a random book from the shelf and inspects the cover. Shouldn't this girl be wearing more clothes? You wouldn't like that one. In a panic, Natsuki snatches the book from Suri's hands and replaces it on the shelf in a less conspicuous location. Okay, well, if you have no preference, then let's start with something that's easy to get into. A lot of these don't start to get really good until a few volumes in, and I wouldn't ask someone to make that kind of commitment unless they're already really into manga. I could handle it. I did it with Yuri's book at least. Well, I'm more considerate than that. Although, I'm kinda impressed by her attention span if you put that much effort into her books. No, I have the attention span of a donut. But I love my friends, and I can do anything if it's for them. Okay, well, okay then. Let's pick you something that even donuts can read. I didn't say I was a donut. I said that I had an attention span of one. Aw, were you just trying to call me sweet? You're so cute. No! How'd you get to that conclusion? And don't call me that. A donut? Cute. Aw, how come? I just don't like it. I don't need a reason. Natsuki yanks a book from the shelf and closes the closet doors. If someone asks you to stop, then you just need to stop. People need to realize that. I'm sorry. I really didn't mean to hurt you. Nah, sorry. It wasn't you. Natsuki shakes her head while pulling a second chair over to her desk. I was talking about something else. I didn't mean to get all angry all of a sudden. Natsuki averts her gaze and mumbles. You're like, well, a nice person, so I wasn't talking about you. I still learned a valuable lesson. Cherry speaks softly as well, feeling shy after receiving an unexpected compliment. Well, anyway, here's the book. Should just start with it whenever you feel like it. What's it about? Well, it's like a comedy, and there's romance too, obviously. Saria looks at the title. It's called Love is Another Word for Luck. It's about a girl who keeps accidentally running to the same guys, and then you find out, like, well, you should just read it. Well, you have to tell me what you think. I can already guess who you're going to ship yourself with. It would be so funny if I'm right. Ship? I don't get it. Never mind. Let's not worry about that yet. Just make sure you tell me what you think. Oh, okay. I'll start then. And maybe tomorrow we can do poetry too. Oh, yeah, I guess. But don't you want to finish this first? Yeah, but we could do both. I mean, unless you don't like poetry, then I won't make you or anything. No, it's just, well, never mind. We can worry about it tomorrow. After the club meeting ends and Natsuki and Yuri leaves, Monika strikes up a conversation with Sayori. I see you got Natsuki to share some of her manga with you. I really want to become better friends with her. She's so enthusiastic and expressive. I just listen to her talk, she's so... I'm not sure if she meant I can't say that to her, or I can't say it at all. Say what? Nothing. I'm a woman of respect. But Natsuki is a woman of cute. Oh, I said it. What's so bad about that? I don't know. But, you know, there's one thing I'm kind of worried about. Sometimes I'm afraid that Natsuki actually doesn't like me very much. That's ridiculous. How come you feel that way? Well, I mean, just little signs, like how she only says hi to me after I say hi to her first. And it feels like she only gets excited to talk to me when it's about manga and other stuff she likes. She just seems dismissive a lot. She was like that when I brought up poetry. Yeah, but that doesn't mean she doesn't like you. She's probably just shy, you know? Maybe. My stupid head is making me worried for no reason. It likes to do that. It's okay, try not to worry so much. Everything will be great. But you can always talk to me about any concerns that you have. I'm here to help. You're the best. Sari gives Monika a quick hug. Well, I'm gonna keep trying because I love her and I want to get closer to her. You got this. You got this. After the next club meeting starts, Sayori is the last one in as usual. Trotting into the room, she sees Natsuki sitting alone by the closet reading what must be manga. Without hesitation, Sayori pulls up a chair and plops herself down right next to Natsuki. Hello there. Hi. What you reading? Can I read it with you? Natsuki pulls the book away from Sayori. You can't just start in the middle. There are spoilers. Besides, what about the one I gave you yesterday? Sorry, I was just curious. Well, anyway, I've been waiting forever for this volume to come out, and it just came out yesterday, so... Oh, that's exciting. Well, I'll let you read it then. Can I sit next to you, though? Sure. Sayori plops herself down next to Natsuki. Dude. Oh my god. Hold on. Sayori plops herself down next to this. Dude, oh my god. Siri, shut the hell up. Sayori. Did that activate her? No. Plops herself down next to Natsuki, then pulls out a blank sheet of paper. Natsuki reads in silence, save for the periodic flutter of the page being released from beneath her thumb. From Sayori's side, only the light tapping noises of her pen meeting the paper can be heard. Time passes. Sayori's paper is filled with scribbles, and the margins are aligned with stick figures. Natsuki lets out a deep sigh and closes her book. Did you finish? No, but it's a good stopping point. My head is swimming. I need a break. Natsuki stretches her arms. Aren't you bored? No, I was writing. Oh, I saw the stick figures and I thought you were just bored. I just draw those when I'm thinking or waiting for inspiration. I made friends with them all. This one is sad because she thinks the night sky is pretty, but she can't look up at the stars in public without everyone thinking she's a weirdo. And this one has problems with his back, but the doctors can't figure out what's wrong with him. What the heck? You're the weirdo. Wanna read the poem I'm working on? Sure, I guess. Sayori slides the paper over to Natsuki. As Natsuki reads through the poem, she furrows her eyebrows. The sides of the paper. She slides the paper back over to Sayori. Don't you ever feel weird just sharing all your thoughts and feelings like that? I mean, your poems are like really emotional. Is that bad? Well, no. It was just an observation. I think people can get closer to each other if they find ways of expressing their feelings. Well, Natsuki begins to protest, but she can't find a good way of putting her thoughts into words. Doesn't that depend more of the kind of friends you have? I don't know. Teach their own, but I've never met anyone I'd feel comfortable sharing my poems with. Not that it's you. It's just how I am, so. You write poems? You never told me that. I just thought you wrote other stuff. Yeah, that too, but you should. I mean, would you ever want to share? Like I said, I don't do that. But, can we talk about something else? I'm sorry. It's not your fault. It just makes me uncomfortable. I can't help it. Still, I'm sorry. It's fine. Well, let's move on to something that makes us both happy. I should continue the book you gave me since I didn't get very far yet. Sure. Over the next few days, Sayori begins each club meeting by approaching Natsuki with unwavering enthusiasm. Hi, Natsuki! Natsuki! Hi, Natsuki! At the end of one club meeting, Monica, who has become rather invested in Sayori's friendship mission, starts an accused conversation with Natsuki while she packs up. It's cool that you've been finding time to spend with Sayori. She's pretty excited for the chance to read manga with you. Yeah, I'm sure you've been enjoying the chance to share it too, right? Yeah, mostly. Natsuki glances over her shoulder but doesn't reply farther. What's on your mind? Nothing. I don't talk about people behind their backs. Oh. Natsuki falls silent, but she just fidgets instead of getting back to what she was doing. As though she wants to say more. It's okay to share your feelings. That's different from talking about someone behind their back, I guess. I just hate when people talk about me behind my back, so I'm better than doing it to others. Monica shares a bright smile. You're really considerate. Thanks, I guess? but it doesn't feel like it. You can trust me. Natsuki stands in silence for a moment, still fidgeting. I just feel smothered sometimes. I'm not used to someone being, like, all over me after we meet. I mean, it's fun to hang out with her, but I just have no control over the pace. I can't just meet someone instantly. I can't just meet someone and instantly become best friends with them and, like, share everything about myself. That's not how it works. I just want to chill out sometimes. Oh, I didn't realize that was happening. It's fine. Why would you have? I know. I just feel bad about it. I know Sayori, so I should have realized. Monica navigates through her tinge of guilt, which has... Oh, okay. Despite not knowing the situation, Monica can't help but feel a little responsible. Do you want me to talk to her about it? No, I wouldn't like that. Well, I could. I don't know. I could, like, divert her into another club activity for you, or something. No way, that would be so underhanded and mean. Sorry, I didn't think that one through. Besides, just because I complained about it doesn't mean I'm asking for someone to solve my problem for me. True. I'm sorry. I guess I just instinctively want to try to solve problems, even if I haven't been invited to. It's fine. I would talk to Sayori about it, but it would make things really weird between us. I feel like it would make her just constantly be afraid that she's bothering me. I don't know how to just keep things natural. Well, I think if you do a good job expressing all your feelings, she would totally understand. Sayori really wants to be the best she can for other people. I think she would actually be happy that you want to improve your friendship with her. Maybe. Ugh. It feels so dumb talking to someone about how to be friends with them. It's just weird and not cool. Monica shrugs. It's the literature club. Then she mumbles through a stifled laugh. It's not the cool club. Hey. Sorry. It just ticked me for some reason. Look. I know that you're kind of in a rough spot and that it's hard for you to really express yourself. But you've really demonstrated to me that you're great at self-reflection and critical thinking, even if it doesn't feel like it to you. I think that's the most important part of being able to navigate through these things. So I believe that you'll find the right thing to do. Well, Natsuki instinctively starts to reject a compliment, but she can't find any excuse to do so. Thanks. Natsuki gathers her things, then finishes her thought in a mumble. I have notification I'm trying to get rid of. Okay. And I'm glad I joined the club, even if it's weird sometimes. Monica smiles, but Natsuki turns her back and walks away before waiting for a reply. It was an unusual way for Natsuki to express her appreciation, but Monica knew what she meant. It made Monica feel like everything was really going to be okay. Balance. Oh, so I get this now. So all of these are practically like who's going to be like the main part in the story. So like the next one is going to like focus on Yuri and Monica, then Natsuki and Yuri. Okay, balance part 2. It's lunchtime. Suri, who usually buys her lunch, is making her way to the cafeteria like any other day. The clamor and bustle of the students is drowned by Suri's impeccable skill of zoning out. However, her imagination is momentarily interrupted by the glimpse of a familiar pink-haired girl. Hey, that's Natsuki. I never run into the other club members around the school. Natsuki! Sayuri stands on her tippy toes and waves. Natsuki, who's busy walking and chatting with her friends, doesn't notice Sayuri at first. Then she glances over in Sayuri's direction. Sayuri waves enthusiastically. Following her friend, Natsuki quickly ducks around the corner. Hey! She definitely saw me. Monika is the first to arrive to the club meeting, then Natsuki. Sayuri, having glanced through the windows to see Natsuki already inside, is unable to work up enough courage to enter. Natsuki's been so distant with me. I was stupid to think she'd ever want to be friends. She only got excited because she got to share a manga, but aside from that, she doesn't even like me. I should just go home today. Sorry, but do you plan on going inside? No. Why? I'm sulking. Oh. Well, I'm sorry for bothering you. Excuse me. No, don't leave me. Oh, I'll stay here then. I don't want to go in. I'm afraid of bothering Natsuki. I saw her at lunch today, so I waved and called out to her, but instead of saying hi, she just ran away from me. Really? Not bad. Hey! Sorry, I'm sorry. That was a joke. It just sounded like something stupid I would do, from anxiety. From anxiety? Well, I just don't like attention being drawn to myself. Oh, that makes sense, based on the person you are. But Natsuki isn't shy like that at all. I thought we were friends. It feels like every day she's just trying to distance herself more, instead of get closer. It makes me feel like she was only spending time with me during the club because I was reading manga, but she doesn't actually want to be friends with me. Well, I feel like I'm missing a lot of context here. Was she in the middle of anything when you approached her? No, she was just walking with her friends. Yuri pauses for a moment. How do I put this? Sayuri, you're very fond of your friends, right? You always want to be spending time with them. Of course, I don't think there's anything more important to me. I mean, the best part of my day are always with my friends. Besides that, I really hate being alone, so... You hate being alone? Sayuri nods. We're very different people. I cherish my time alone. I wouldn't trade for anything. So I think, well, if I was trying to have alone time and I was being threatened with an interruption, then it just would not make me very happy. Yeah, but that doesn't have to do with Natsuki. She was already with her friends, not trying to be alone or anything. No, I think it's similar. Well, we're all friends in this club, but we have our own lives outside the club as well. If you think about it, making new friends isn't some casual occurrence that happens on a daily basis. A friendship is an invitation to intertwine your lives together. But the capacity at which each person is ready to do that might be different. There are friends who just like to have fun together, and others who talk every day and share every detail of their lives with each other. I think when establishing a friendship, it's more important to consider the comfort level of the other person. I mean, we don't really know much about Natsuki's life outside of the club. It could be that she simply needs to make friends at her own pace, rather than jump headfirst into a new commitment. But that means I really was bothering her. I just really wanted to be good friends with her, so I treated her like one. Was I actually hurting her? I don't know, I'm sorry. My insight was really only based on what I understand about my own needs. And Natsuki and I are completely different, so... Why was I so selfish? Even if all that is true, then it means I hurt her. I think I messed up. Yuri, with you, I think I was really careful to understand your needs when I was becoming friends with you. But I wasn't careful at all with Natsuki because she's already seemed so really social. I just took control of everything instead of looking for the right balance. Now I hurt her and she doesn't want to talk to me. How could I let myself do this? Sayuri? I think that Well, there was one time you told me something about the way I saw things in my head being different from reality. It's easy to automatically jump to the worst case scenario, but I think it's more likely that Natsuki doesn't harbor any ill feelings towards you. So I think if we're to realistically consider the situation and how it would cause someone to feel, I'm bad at this. Sorry. You're a lot better than me at this. You're a lot better than me at things like comforting and reassuring people. Suddenly, Sayori gives Yuri a gentle hug. You're the best, Yuri. I'm sorry for burdening you with this. You're trying so hard for me. You're such a sweetheart. It's not a burden. I enjoy listening to others, and my friends deserve happiness. Sayori beams. Well, I think I'm gonna give Natsuki some space. She should do what she wants. And if she does still want to be friends, then I'll learn her needs and I'll match her boundaries. Yeah, I'm sure that's what's best. I wish I didn't feel so awful and guilty. It makes me feel so desperate. Like I need to make it up to her by trying to make her happy. But that's not what she needs. I just have to tell myself that it hurts. But I guess it means I still need to grow. I really want to grow as a person. If it's to be better for my friends, I want that. That's very mature of you, Sayori. I'm mature. Sayori hops up and down on her toes. So, does that mean you'll be going home after all? Sayori shakes her head. I need to be here to show her that I respect her space. I'll just spend the club by myself today. Yuri nods in understanding. You can go in first. Okay. You're blocking the door. Oh. Sayori steps aside. By the way, before Yuri enters the club room, Sayori interjects. You said that you and Natsuki are completely different, but I don't think that's true. I think you're actually really similar in a lot of ways. Yuri smiles and shakes her head. Sayori, that's absurd. You're very silly sometimes. Yuri turns and enters the club room. After a moment, Sayori follows. The club room is quiet. When Sayori walks in, Natsuki glances in her direction. Sayori smiles and gives Natsuki a quick wave before sitting down across the room. Yuri's face is already buried in a book. Sayori decides it's best to continue the manga she was reading, so she pulls it out. However, it looks like Natsuki isn't reading today. She has her sheet of paper in front of her, and is tapping a pen against her desk, staring at it. Oh, are you writing today? Monika speaks in a quiet voice, unwilling to disturb the peace of the classroom. She kneels down at Natsuki's desk. Hey! Natsuki pulls the sheet closer to her and covers it with her arms. Sorry, I didn't mean to peek. Whatever. I just wanted to see how everything was going. It's fine, Natsuki replies dismissively. She glances over at Sayori, who's focused on her manga. Monika follows Natsuki's gaze. I think she's mad at me. How come? I'm busy right now. Ask me later. Monika falls silent. Natsuki looks back down at her paper. What? That doesn't make any sense. Monika falls silent. Natsuki looks back down at her paper. She inches her hand away from the top margin, allowing Monika to see. It says, to Sayori. Understanding, Monika smiles and places a hand on Sayori's shoulder and whispers softly, I'm proud of you! Natsuki looks away, but makes no motion to remove Monika's hand. Monika gives Natsuki's shoulder a quick squeeze before standing back up and pulling away. The end of the club meeting passes. Yuri has already departed. So has Monika after checking on Sayori and Natsuki to ensure they wouldn't stay too late. Sayori was determined to finish her manga volume before heading out, since the end was approaching. However, with Natsuki also staying late for an unknown reason, a silent tension hangs in the air. After finishing the volume, Sayori brings it to the closet to put it away. She slides it back onto the shelf while Natsuki watches. Then Natsuki gets up and pulls it back out in order to return it to its proper location. Sorry, I didn't know where it's supposed to go. It's fine. The two fall silent again, avoiding eye contact. They both look like they're about to say something, but neither can break the silence. A moment passes. Well, I'll be on my way. See you tomorrow. Sayori turns away to hide her pained expression, then walks away from the closet. If there was any proof Natsuki no longer wants to be friends, this was it. Defeated, Sayori carries herself out of the club room. Once in the hallway, Sayori takes a deep breath and hits her palms against her cheeks to clear her head a little. Suddenly Natsuki's stammering voice calls from behind. Natsuki? Startled, Sayori turns back around to face Natsuki. Natsuki fidgets and anxiously continues with a shaken voice. Wing. There's a wing in the back. Honestly, I kind of just do this so I can see if there's like any words that I can read. No, there is not. There are no words that I can read. Except that little guy in the middle. Right there. Under Morse code. Hold on. It spells Morse and Morse code. That's hilarious. Natsuki fidgets and anxiously continues with a shaken voice. I have a lot of things to say. Me too. But you go first. Natsuki bites her lip and can't stay still. Well, first of all, she cuts her short, struggling to continue. Trying to force the words out, she stamps her foot. I thought I was reading that wrong. I thought it said stomps. She stamps her foot and hops up and down a little. I'm sorry for the thing I did at lunch. And I'm sorry for being kind of mean lately. It's really hard for me to I'm not good with things that make me uncomfortable. Especially when it comes to like feelings and stuff. So, face burning, Natsuki claims up again. Instead of continuing, she simply holds up a sheet of paper for Sayori to take. The best place in the world. I love my bedroom. It's full of bright colors and soft things. The sunlight shines in and makes everything sparkle. It's the best place in the world. It has all my treasures, all my books, my collections, my memories. All of my dreams were born in this room. It's the best place in the world. It has all my secrets, all my failures, my fears, my feelings. Sometimes it feels so fragile that the door will break the slightest touch. Will break at the slightest touch. But it's still the best place in the world. But when someone knocks, I get scared. I brace my arms against the loose hinges. Please don't break. Come on in. Don't come in. I'm not ready. It's my best place in the world. The knocking won't stop. I block the door with furniture. An eye peeks through the keyhole and I panic. I'm trapped in the best place in the world. I'm not ready to share my favorite place. I need to clean my secrets and make my bed to hide my nightmares. I need to touch them to put them away, to see them again. I have so much to do, and I'm scared. I'm not ready. But it's still my favorite place. I still want to share it. However long it takes, if you wait patiently, I'll eventually open the door, and I'll show you the best place in the world. It's a poem, but I thought, well, I sucked it up so that I could work things out with you. So just be happy about it, please. Sari smiles deeply, from the bottom of her heart. I'm happier than I could express. I feel so awful, but I'm so happy that you would do this for me. I actually realized before the club meeting today that I made a mistake. I got so caught up in the chance to get closer with you that I forgot to think about what you wanted. And that we probably have different ways we like to make friends. About, like, the friendship stuff, I mean, it's okay. I understand. So you don't have to force yourself to talk about it. Your poem did a good job. So don't force yourself if you're not ready to yet. Okay? Natsuki nods. You don't have to feel like you did anything wrong. It was my fault and I'm sorry. I wasn't mad at you today or anything like that. I actually felt really guilty and wanted to give you space. I was thinking it's silly that I just approached you all this time, and that I should just let you approach me when you want to. Just whatever makes you comfortable. I'll respect that from now on. Friendship should always start with those things. With the right balance. Natsuki nods again. One thing about that, Well, I don't want to have to approach you all the time either. I just want it to be balanced, like you said. Sayori nods. I understand. We'll make sure of that together then. Boom. Oh, well, anyway. Now that the two of them have found common ground, Natsuki finds it easier to speak more freely again. I'm not gonna be like sharing my poems all the time now or anything like that, but I guess it wouldn't hurt to do once in a while. Only the best ones. So you better like them, because otherwise I might change my mind. I like anything you do, Natsuki. I was just saying. More importantly, I have to tell you about my new boyfriend. Huh? Oh, from the manga. Wait, I need to guess who it is. You definitely won't be able to guess. The two walk down the hallway together. Oh my god, we have so much to talk about. Darn. I should have told you to say the last two chapters so I could see your reaction to the big reveal. Aw, you wanted to enjoy it with me. That's so cute. Oh shush. Okay. Pictures, I'm guessing. Oh. Hey! Oh. Oh. Okay, I got every poem. A scene from the side story Balance. I need to find this one. And also the concepts and the sketches or whatever. Mail. Paula Minor. Ethics. Simply put, it's not our job to arbitrarily decide upon some code of ethics just because we're the first ones to do this, to our knowledge. That's the government's job to figure out long after we made enough headway for it to no longer apply to us. It's fundamentally flawed to apply ethical reasoning. Blah 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 blah. 81. Reflection. Begin the side story. Okay. Am I bothering you? No. Okay, just checking. It's hard to tell since you always look so into it when you're reading. It makes me scared to interrupt. Well, it's within my expectations to be interrupted when I read here. It's mainly when I'm by myself that I don't like it. That makes sense. I guess if you're here in the first place, then you're more ready to socialize, even if it takes a little bit of prodding. It's not so bad to be social if I let others do the work, so it can be healthy to put myself in a social environment every now and then. It's mostly difficult when I don't know anyone, or there are too many people, or just everyone being too silly for me to keep up with. Oh. Yuri glances across the room at Sayori and Natsuki. Sayori has her head cocked by her mouth. Sayori has her head cocked back and her mouth open, trying to catch pieces of a cookie that Natsuki is lobbing into the air. But the pieces keep bouncing off her face and hitting the floor. Maybe I should say something. No need, they just ran out of cookie. What a waste. They've really become good friends, haven't they? I'm happy. Sayori seems particularly good at making that happen. But the two of them are both on the energetic side, so I suppose it works out well. Yeah, come to think of it, you and I haven't had many chances to talk one-on-one, have we? Though that may be particularly my fault since I'm supposed to be the one engaging club members. Not at all. I've probably formed a habit of drawing minimal attention to myself. The responsibility is equally on me, at least to display some openness to engage. What about it during times like lunch? Do you meet up with friends? I just read. Oh. But I like it that way. It feels nice to be carried off again after a morning of class. You always read fantasy? Oh, not always. I suppose it's all I've read recently, but it's only because I'm in the middle of the series. There are still 2 more books after this one. I guess those long books suit you well, since you spend so much time reading. Well, fantasy may be my favorite, but after that, I'm more or less indiscriminate to genres. I'll read anything with depth and maturity. Oh yeah? Even like romance? Well, there are a lot of books that have elements of romance in them. Oh, come on, Yuri. You know what I mean. Monica lowers her voice. It's a guilty pleasure of mine, so I won't tell anyone if you do. If you do too. Maybe more when I was in middle school. I mean, I was really lonely, and people were mean to me a lot. So I just kind of felt like, please don't make me think about the past. Sorry, I just got super curious. You know, we should totally pick out a romance novel to read. That would be so much fun. Absolutely not. Really? Even if it was just between us? Try asking someone who has no shame, like Natsuki. Ouch. Sorry, I didn't mean that. Well, I guess it was my fault for pressing you. I'm like that for things in my past too. You know, things I feel too embarrassed to re-experience. There's nothing wrong with growing out of things. It happens to everyone. For instance, Natsuki's interest in manga reminds me quite of how intense I used to be about my interests. It makes me think that she'll likely grow out of it too. Hey, were you talking about you? Or were you talking about me? No. No, we were just talking about how our interests have changed over the years. When did you get into manga, Natsuki? Like a couple years ago, I guess. I was already sort of into it before that, but I wasn't really going hard until then. Oh yeah? What was it that inspired you to get into it more? I don't know. I guess, let me think. It was after I discovered a series that I really liked. Yeah, I was just like really fed up with a lot of things and got super into this one series that I really liked, that I really related to. I guess I had an edgy phase where I just hated everyone around me and wanted to be by myself. Haha. Hey, kind of like Yuri. Monica. Haha, sorry. Dude. Oh my god. McDonald's chicken Big Mac. So good. That's completely wrong, so it's still cool that you both really found your thing. They're almost like opposites, but it sounds like they helped you a lot through hard times. You know it. Wow, what the heck? Is that book even bigger than the last one you were reading? It's technically slightly longer, but not by very much. How high do you think it would go if you stacked up the whole series? Suki estimates by holding her hand above her head, sizing up an imaginary stack. I should get one of those mangas that's like 50 volumes long so I can say I've read more than you. Hahaha. Not that I have the money for that. Please. That would hardly count when your books only have a few words per page. I know, I was just joking. I could never actually read books like yours. It's too boring for me. Rei shoots a glare at Natsuki. It's not boring. Chill. I said for me, not for you. I can have my own opinion. It's just... I just think it's too convoluted. Dude, I suck at words. Sorry. Are those from the floor? Gross. Always wash your hands before touching any of my books. But my hands aren't dirty. Just do it. The oils aren't even are there even if you can't see them. Fine. Suri trots out the door and Natsuki follows. Yuri, you look a little upset. What kind of nerve does she have to call my hobby boring? Well, she did correct herself. Hardly. She was so condescending, whatever. Enough with these long words, okay? Nope. I don't mind if she thinks it's not for her. I already understand that it's not for everyone. But she knows well how much these mean to me. So how about just leaving me alone instead of needlessly telling me the things that you hate about it? I'm sorry, Yuri. You may be right. This won't be the last time people have strong feelings about what they like and don't like. Especially in the literature club. So I should figure out how to meditate discussions to keep them positive and constructive. For the record, I've always been impressed by the level of creativity in your books, and also your ability to get through them so quickly. Thank you. Okay. Well, this is something that we have to think about and revisit. I'm sure I can help Natsuki find some common ground with you. Common ground isn't necessary. I just wish to be respected. Then either way, I'll do my best. I'm skeptical when it comes to Natsuki. I trust you, Monica, but I'm skeptical. Skibbical. Skibbical. Okay, everyone. We have a special club meeting today. As you know, the Literature Club is a place where we get to share things that we're really passionate about. But that also means we should be mindful of how we respond to each other's feelings. I think we have a chance to turn our differences into positive energy for each other. Aren't you being a little dramatic about this? This is important to me. Well, sorry, I just feel like I'm being accused or something. No, I'm not accusing anyone of anything. I'm sorry if it came off that way. But our conversation yesterday made me reflect on the power of language, and I thought it would be a good topic for the literature club, don't you think? I'm sure we're going to have differences and opinions a lot, so I need to make sure we are prepared to keep a positive atmosphere in the club. If you say so, sure. The cool thing about language is that it gives us a lot of different ways to express the same idea or emotion. We have a lot of control over how we want the other person to feel when receiving our thought. This goes for poetry, narratives, casual conversation, basically anything. For an example, Siri, what's your favorite food? I have them organized by categories, so should I start with snacks or do you mean full meals? Should I include breakfast? Oh geez. Okay, how about your favorite fruit? That's easy. Cherries. Really? I always thought cherries tasted nasty. What? Cherries are delicious. Whoa, that's a pretty strong reaction. Well, I just don't understand how someone could think cherries are nasty. How does it make you feel? I don't know, sad? Defensive maybe? Yeah, I got defensive. See? The reason you had such a strong reaction wasn't because I don't like cherries. It's because you felt like your opinion was under attack. But that's weird, right? Something like taste is completely subjective. But when I say something like, I think cherries taste nasty, I'm using objective language. I'm challenging Sayori's reality that cherries are delicious with my own, which is that cherries are nasty. Wait, hold on. How is this objective when you just said it was your own opinion? It has to do with the way your brains interpret the words. You're talking about the reality of the cherries, not your feelings about them. Like Sayori, let's rewind for a second and I pretend I didn't tell you that I think cherries are nasty. Good. So what if instead of that, I said like, I've tried cherries and they're not for me. It's not the kind of flavor I enjoy. Well, that's fine. As long as you don't call them nasty. Nasty is a nasty word. Nickelback is a nasty word. Nickelbacks. I hate Nickelbacks. Okay, so cherries was a kind of weird example, but I think it gets to the point across. This time around, instead of talking about cherries, I just talked about my feelings, and Terry didn't get offensive. So instead of clashing with each other, it's like we received an invitation to talk about our differences. Yuri, you don't need to take notes. I'm just gonna quiz you or something. I know that. I was just... Sorry. I didn't mean to call you out. You can do whatever you'd like. But does anyone have any thoughts so far? Yeah. I just... Oh. But does anyone have any thoughts so far? Yeah. I just feel like I shouldn't have to put all my language through a filter just to protect someone's feelings. Well, you don't have to. The choice is yours on how you want to come across to other people. I'm only suggesting it as a tool to help turn your differences into a positive experience rather than an argument. Right, Siri? Whatever you say, cherry hater. Oh, come on. Siri, I actually like cherries. I was just saying that to help demonstrate. What the heck? I've been duped. Sorry, Siri. I'll make it up to you later. How about a cherry sundae? You are welcome to dupe me any time, my beloved president. Buying your people's loyalty. How deplorable. Oh, like you would turn down a free sundae, Yuri. You were certainly a fan of those cupcakes I brought in the other week. I was reading and not keeping track of them. Oh, that's enough. We're getting off topic. So now that we have the gist of it, how about we try it with something more relevant to the club? Like manga, right? Let's try to have a productive discussion about our differences and opinions. Yuri, do you want to start? Well, I'd rather not. No. How come? Well, because I don't see how anything productive can come from that. It's just going to start a fight. No, it'll be fine. That's why I'm here to moderate. Let's just have a calm and rational discussion. Yeah, give me a little more credit. I'm not a child. You don't have to coddle my feelings. I always think it's more respectable to just speak your mind. Respectable? Yuri's expression changes at the word. As Monica recalls, being respected was the crux of the matter for Yuri. Crux? Whatever. Well, the point of the exercise isn't exactly like, it's fine. I have nothing against anyone personally. You're entitled to enjoy whatever it is you like. I just prefer more depth and nuance in my reading material. I don't know if I said that right. I look for stories that are imaginative and sophisticated beyond the surface level. Oh, well, that's just misunderstanding then. I thought you were gonna say that manga's for children or something. Like I don't hear enough of that. But there's plenty of deep manga. I'm not clueless about manga. I read my own fair share when I was younger. What? Are you serious? How come you never told me? Because I'm past that point in my life, and I really prefer not to revisit it. I prefer more mature things now. Excuse me? Okay, hold on. Can I just jump in here? Let's try to keep things subjective. Because if you imply that manga is immature, then aren't you implying that someone is immature for being into it? Well, maybe it's immature to judge people for having different tastes than you. Natsuki. Nobody's immature. I've read Natsuki's manga and Yuri's fantasy, and I love them both in their own ways. Okay. It's great that you like it, but I still find it boring. Boring isn't subjective. It bores me. That's subjective. But, I mean, the thing about... This is ridiculous. Do you see why I don't want to participate in this? I knew I was just gonna make people upset. I'm not upset. Like I said, I don't care what other people think. But I always got the impression that you secretly looked down upon me, so I'm glad that my suspicions were confirmed. That's not true at all. You're making assumptions. You can't blame me for getting defensive when nobody has at the least a bit of respect for the things I'm into. The only thing I look down upon is when people make fun of me or just being myself. For just being myself and trying to mind my own business. What? Have you looked in a mirror? Tell me again about respect after calling all my interests immature. You can't... Please stop. Please? You don't mean the things you're saying right now. Shut the fuck up! Let's just be friends. I didn't mean for this to happen. Well, it did. So please don't invite yourself to try and solve other people's problems next time, okay? Yuri's piercing words send the club rooms into a choked silence as she gathers her things. She leaves. Holy crap. I never heard her sound like that before. She must be so pissed. Well, you weren't very nice either, so... I was just saying. How did this happen? It's my fault. Yuri wasn't wrong. I should have tried to moderate a conflict when I know how bad I am at dealing with conflicts. It was really stupid. It was a really stupid thing for me to do. It's nobody's fault, and it wasn't stupid. Everyone in the club is a nice person. Nobody would have expected this. But I guess we're sensitive about the things we really love. Honestly, she kind of brought it upon herself. Like I said, I don't care. I don't care if you're not into manga. But if you actually look down on other people for that. That's kind of the point I was trying to make in the first place. It's not about sugarcoating things. It's about just recognizing and understanding our differences. Okay, but here's the thing about that. Yuri actually looks down upon me. It's nothing to do with her word choice or anything like that. So I see what you're trying to do, but I really think the problem here is her. Not just like the way we talk to each other, right? I mean, Yuri isn't like that. She's a lot sweeter than you're giving her credit for. I'm sure she'll be reflecting on this. I actually think everyone should. It'll be fine. I'll figure something out. Wow. I'm just like saying that instinctively. I'm just setting myself up to cause more problems. This wasn't your fault, Monica. You don't have to beat yourself up over it. If you ask me, it's good that the truth finally came out. Oh. Because I can just move on now. But it's fine, I promise. Let's just get our mind off this, okay? In fact, it's a good opportunity to read some manga without having to worry about feeding Yuri's superiority complex. Don't be mean. I'll talk or read manga or whatever you want, but don't be mean to my friends, okay? Sorry. I'm just bitter. Everything will be okay. I mean, I don't have the answers, but I at least know that we're all good people and don't want to hurt each other. This will be a learning experience. Monica says that, but her uneasiness is given away by how much she has to force the reassuring tone in her voice. This was bound to happen eventually. Mitsuki and Yuri have always engaged with each other, the least out of anyone, and this is the reason. As Yuri and Mitsuki proceed to distract themselves with manga, Monica sighs to herself, unable to shake her worried thoughts. Will the club really have to just come to terms with the fact that some members will be incompatible with each other? Monica desperately doesn't want to admit that, and she knows Sayori doesn't either. But for once, a solution doesn't seem to be in sight. Boom. What's the new thing?
Every day I imagine a future where I can be with you. In my hand is a pen that will write a poem of me and you. The ink flows down into a dark puddle. Just move your hand right the way into his heart. But in this world of infinite choices, what will it take just to find that special day? What will it take just to find that
Is there any other Morse code that I missed?
Have I found everybody a fun
Nope,
assignment
that's
to do
practically it.
today?
I think.
When you're here, everything that we do is fun for them anyway. When I can't even read my own feelings, what good are words when a smile says it all? And if this world won't write me an ending, what will it take just for me to have it all?
Is that South Korea in the top left? I think it is. Or it might not be.
Does my pen only write bitter words for those who are dear to me? Is it love if I take you, or is it love if I set you free? The ink flows down into a dark puddle. How can I write love into reality if I can't hear the sound of your heartbeat? What do you call love in your
Damn,
reality?
that's literally the only Morse code. And it literally just spells Morse. Oh well. A new day arrives. Siri arrives at the club room earlier than usual. That is not late. As she enters, it appears to be empty still, so she sits down at a desk and pulls out a sheet of paper, primed to jot down her thoughts. Siri has made a habit of scribbling her thoughts and feelings onto paper whenever possible, as it tends to serve as her best inspiration for poetry. My heart feels vacant because a ship sailed away. Yo. Ah! Mitsuki pokes her head out from behind the closet door. I didn't mean to scare you. But it would have been a lot more awkward if I didn't say anything. I doubt you want me listening on your poetry thing. Yeah. Thanks for realizing that. Should I let you finish that up then? No, it wasn't. I mean, I just do it whenever it's convenient. You're not interrupting. Where's Monica, by the way? Oh, she's out in the hallway. Huh? Why? Well, just in case she runs into Yuri. Sometimes Yuri is too nervous to come into the club room by herself, so... Oh, geez. Does Yuri really let things bother herself for that long? She can't control her feelings. For some people, it's really hard to cope when you get a bad thought in your head. Maybe you can just distract yourself for a little while. But as soon as it's just you and your thoughts again, it comes back. I just want us to have a normal club meeting. It's a lot easier to pretend like it never happened if we just ignore it and move on. I don't want to be bothered by this. It's so stupid. Her opinion of me doesn't matter anyway. Besides, it makes me feel guilty, and I hate that too. It's okay to have feelings. It doesn't make you feel weak. Let's figure this out together. Fine. Only because you're good at this stuff. Let's try to come up with a happy scene. Maybe that will help us understand where your bad feelings are coming from. Well, I was happy the way things were before we had to have that conversation yesterday. What part of the conversation made you upset? Was it Yuri being mean about the manga? Maybe. I doubt it though, because my friends and other people make fun of manga all the same, but I just brush it off and ignore them. But something about it really got me this time, and I hate it. And I hate that I'm letting that happen. Is it because it came from Yuri? No. Why would that matter? I mean, well, maybe. I just hate it that I hate that she thinks she's so much better than me just because she likes to pretend to be all sophisticated. Yeah, that's what it is. At least for other people, at least other people decide that they don't like me or manga or whatever. But Yuri acts like she's too good to even give it a chance. I'm sorry. Everyone deserves a chance. Yeah, exactly. Would you give Yuri's books a chance? Heh, after this, obviously not. What about before this? Well, I would until I got bored, which wouldn't take very long. But if you actually keep an open mind, then it's not hard to realize that a story can be deep and meaningful without being needlessly complicated. I see. But you know, I like Yuri's books. Yeah, but do you like manga more, right? Yuri shakes her head. I like them both. I like them in different ways, but I like them both. I mean, the manga, it's really honest and fun and easy to just let go with. And the fantasy has a lot of interpret and uncover, and it's really rewarding to have some good quiet time together with it. But the most important thing is that both the manga and the fantasy are true to themselves. So, I love them both, and I think there's room for both of them to be in the same club together. I just feel like maybe they have more in common than you would think. How do you get along with everyone so well? I always get into fights with people. Like first it was with Monica, and now when I was new to the club. And then it was you, and now it's Yuri. And I'm always like, oh, that person's being such a jerk, and if they just realized that we could all at least get along. But nobody else has this problem. I just keep running away from the reality that everybody is just a jerk to me because nobody likes me. And I don't know why. And I don't know what to do about it. I don't know what's wrong with me. I hate it. Nitsuki. Suri puts a comforting hand on Nitsuki's shoulder. You're a wonderful person. You deserve to be loved as much as everyone else. Everyone has different ways they like to communicate, you know? And sometimes that makes it harder for us to understand each other. I think that sometimes we get lucky. And we make friends who are really good at the same kinds of communication. And it feels like you magically connect with them. But other times, even if both people are really nice, it's easy for them to misunderstand each other or get the communication wrong. It's something that Yuri struggles a lot with too. It can be really hard. It takes a lot of reflection and self-awareness and vulnerability. I'm bad at that one. Vulnerability. I always have to be the strongest. What do you mean? Tell me about that part of you. Well, it sounds stupid, but I'm really used to people being mean to me. Like my friends and I guess my dad, whenever I don't get good grades or even stupid things like my room isn't clean. And so he beats the crap out of me and starves me to death. So what am I going to do? Cry about it? If I let myself get upset, then it's just letting them win. I'm better than that. I'm better than all of them. So things always have to be everyone else's fault. It feels like if something goes wrong, then there's even a tiny hint that it might be my fault then. I just get really angry and I find ways to blame everything else instead. I wonder why you get angry. Maybe it's because of your abusive father. Do you see yourself as better than Yuri? Wait. Are all their hair colors natural? If they are, what the crap do their parents look like with pink and purple hair? If I said that, then I would just sound really full of myself. No. Our thoughts and our feelings are two different things. Even if we don't like our feelings, we have to understand them. We have to understand them if we want to learn more about themselves. That's a part of vulnerability, you know? Accepting that we have feelings that we don't like. I hate that. My feelings make me a bad person. Because my feelings just want to tell me that I'm so much better than her. That she's a judgmental know-it-all who's stuck in her edgy phase, and that I'm just way above that garbage. But I'm terrible for feeling that way. You're not terrible. You are not your feelings. But you are not your feelings. Say that to yourself out loud. Fine. I am not my feelings. The way I picture it is that those feelings are like your roommate. You live in the same house and you gotta see each other every day. And even if you can ignore each other most of the time, you're just gonna run into each other every now and then, and it's gonna make you feel like poop. poop. So, the other option is to get to know each other. You can communicate and learn from each other, and maybe even help each other change for the better. Does that help you understand? How do you know so much about this stuff? I just have a roommate that can be really hard to get along with, called depression. Depression? You're like the happiest person I know. I am not in my feelings. Wait. I am not my feelings. I want to be a good person like you. You little sweetheart. You're stupid! We're all good people. You and Yuri and Monica. You, Yuri, and Monica. Grammar. And I think Yuri will eventually learn that about you. Natsuki remained silent, feeling a little overwhelmed. Despite Sayori's kind of reassurance and complicated mixture of pain and sadness seems to fill her, as though flowing from a wound inside her. It was a result of her vulnerability? Was it a result of her vulnerability? No. It wasn't as though she was inflicted a wound becoming vulnerable. It was as though she began to rediscover an old wound. One that cannot simply be bandaged and left alone any longer. Yuri, what are you doing all the way over here? I was looking for you. Please don't yell at me. Oh, I'm not going to yell at you. I just wanted to say that I'm sorry about what happened yesterday. What drinks do they have? I cannot tell. Cookies for sale, or is that cupcakes? Whatever. It was unfair for me to put everyone on the spot like that. Next time I won't just try to jump in and solve everyone's problems. I guess it's a bad habit of mine. You're not mad at me? I thought you were the one mad at me. I was so awful yesterday. Yuri curls up, recalling the details of the argument. I can't even have a normal conversation without saying something wrong and making everyone upset. Hold on. That's not what happened at all. Let's talk about this, okay? Your bake sale. Soccer tryouts. Music. Something. Really? No Morse code? Soccer tryouts. After school in the field. Yuri pauses for a second, then manages a nod. Monica takes a seat next to her on the staircase. I'm having a lot of negative thought patterns, and I can't get away from them. What kinds of negative thought patterns? Like, everyone hates me, especially Natsuki. Aw, that's terrible. I don't think Natsuki hates you. How do you know? Well, because Monica thinks back to the time that she herself found herself in the altercation with Natsuki, and how a display of maturity from Monica was enough for Natsuki to reevaluate her own feelings as well. I think Natsuki is just naturally defensive. I think she acts mean when she feels the need to protect herself. But you know, she's really not a bad person. In fact, I think she can be really thoughtful and considerate. She just, well, I guess the way it works is that she wants to receive some degree of kindness first, before she feels comfortable returning it. But that means the burden is on me, and I don't know how to say things that make people like me. Every time I open my mouth, Yuri shakes her head at herself and tugs on her hair. It's okay, Yuri. You don't need to beat yourself up. I think anyone would like you if they had the chance to get to know you. Well, unfortunately, the opposite is true. That's why I'm not talkative anymore in the first place. Because everyone used to think I was weird and talk about me behind my back. That's just what happens when I draw attention to myself. Natsuki even said she found it more respectable when people speak their mind. So I did. And then she hated me anyway. That was enough to confirm my fears. But Sayori and I like you, and we've gotten to know you a lot by now, right? Sayori doesn't seem to have a response. Hey, what do you think of Natsuki? I don't think about her. That's not what I mean. That's not what I meant, really. I was just wondering if you had an opinion of her. I do. What is it? Natsuki seems to bring out the worst in me, and I feel really ashamed of it. I like to think of myself as a fairly sophisticated person, so for someone to just treat me like I'm inferior despite my tastes, that's just the worst kind of insult coming from someone like her. And it makes me think bad things about her. But everyone else seems to like her. So, the only explanation is that it's me who's doing something wrong again. And my feelings about her are wrong. And I'm wrong to get upset over something so childish and inconsequential? Whatever. No, Yuri. Feelings are never wrong. Well, they're never right. They're never not right. That's the thing. Feelings are never right or wrong, you know? They're just a state of being that we don't always have control over. But that doesn't mean they have to control us. I feel like that's something I learned around when I first started the club. We can hate ourselves or feel a certain way about things. Or we can, just acknowledge that they exist and try to understand them better. I can never be mad at you for just feeling a certain way. It's about how you handle them. And I think working through feelings is a great opportunity for teamwork. Here wears a dejected expression. You make it sound so easy. You're so mature. And so good with people. I feel like such a child in comparison. Oh, Yuri. I'm far from perfect. But these are learned skills. They didn't come naturally to me either. It's really hard to, reflect on yourself and separate your feelings from your thoughts. I just want to be a good person. Well, I think it takes a good person to get this far. That's not good enough. I want to be able to communicate to her. Communicate what? How I feel. How it makes me feel frustrated and upset when she's so negative and dismissive of the things that mean so much to me. And how it reminds me of me. Because I know what it's like to feel misunderstood and angry at everyone. I know that telling yourself you're better than everyone else is just a defense mechanism. We're just people. We're fragile and unstable. But I'm just tired of getting in the way. I can't stand when the peace is disturbed like this. Yeah, you can't focus on your reading when the peace is disturbed, right? Because the literature club should be happy for everyone. Monica looks at Yuri and adoration. I feel like Sayori must be rubbing off on me, cause I really want to hug you now. Sorry, I didn't mean to make you uncomfortable. No, well, if you wanted to, then I wouldn't really mind, so. Monica pulls Yuri into a short embrace. You're so gentle, and I love when you communicate your feelings. I feel lucky to get to see that side of you, and I'm sure Natsuki will too. I'm gonna write her a letter. Oh, a letter? What a great idea. Just because I'm not good at talking, especially under pressure. I always let my feelings get the best of me, and I forget to say all the important things, and I say things I don't mean. Well, I think a letter would be wonderful. Such a nice way to communicate. Yuri faces hardness with determination. People don't naturally gravitate towards me like they do for you and Sayori. My personality just isn't suited for that, and I wouldn't want it to be. But something I've learned is that friendships don't always just magically appear out of thin air. For instance, I never would have seen myself making friends with someone like Sayori. We're opposite in a lot of ways, but I'm friends with her because she put so much effort into understanding me so that we can get along. I think that's the same way with you. You both gave me a lot of time and patience, and I wonder if she feels the same way. Itsuki? Yuri nods. I always thought that if I wanted to make more friends, I had to be somebody that I'm not. That there's a type of person or a magical formula I have to follow in order to make someone like me. And that's just like me to think that, always so occupied with myself that I fail to understand other people. Yuri shakes her head. Friendship happens when you think about the other person. When you offer time and effort to understand them and respect them and trust that they also want to be a good person. That's what I learned through my observation in the literature club. Observations? Monica is caught by surprise. Yuri has always kept to herself so much that it's so unusual to hear her suddenly talk about the club like this. But Yuri gently smiles to herself. You always let me listen to your thoughts about the people. Sayori too. And it makes me happy because I learn a lot of things. That's so sweet. I had no idea it meant that much to you. Monica never thought much of it, but in the past weeks, Yuri always seemed to be especially attentive when it came to the problems and concerns of others. Always wanting to listen and learn more about her friends in the club. It's true, Sayori and Monica are naturally more comfortable with other people and can more easily work through situations of conflict. But that doesn't make them better people. Everyone has strengths and weaknesses and the capacity to improve. And the first step towards improving oneself is reflection and self-awareness. It's something that Yuri never gave herself enough credit for, but that Monica can recognize as an incredible trait. And with that, her confidence in her club is restored. A very shy girl with long pretty hair is wandering the bustling lunchtime hallways, her fist pressed into her collarbone. When she finds the literature club president in classroom, she stands at the door, glancing all around her before peering inside. Monica is sitting and chattering with a group of unknown friends. Yeah, as expected. This was a bad idea after all. Suddenly, Monica glances towards the door, making the girl panic and duck out of sight. Before she can regain composure and decide for sure to leave, the classroom door gently opens. Yuri, what a surprise to see you during lunch. Yuri squeaks a response. Please help me. What? Is everything okay? Yuri shakes her head. I don't know how to write letters. Thank goodness. I thought there was some kind of emergency. Monica briefly glances over her shoulders at her other friends. Do you want some help? We can go find an empty classroom or something. Is that okay? I feel bad taking you away from your friends. It's totally fine, I promise. We weren't really doing anything. One sec. Monica trots back into her classroom. Sounds something like, I gotta go to her friends. Then grabs a pen off her desk before returning to Yuri. Okay, let's find somewhere quiet. Yuri nods and follows Monica as the two of them set off. How are you today? Huh? Me? Well, yes. Oh gosh, sorry, I was caught off guard. I'm doing well today, just tired. I never seem to get enough sleep during the week. How come? Oh, I don't know. I think I'm just easily distracted and get sucked into things and start neglecting the time. Me too. I do that too. Hey, this classroom is empty. Let's go in here. After peering inside, Monica opens the classroom door, and the two of them enter. Yuri's moment of relaxation ends. She watches Monica pulls 2 chairs up to the same desk, then obeys as Monica beckons her to take a seat. She stares down at the empty desk. You nervous? I don't want to do this. We don't have to. We can come up with something else. Yuri shakes her head. It's my chance to do something good. I need to take initiative. Oh gosh, you must be really determined. I know how hard it is to step out of your comfort zone. I'll be sure to encourage you. Yuri pushes through her anxiety and grabs a handful of lined paper from her notebook. Then she picks up her pen. Hey, you're left-handed, that's neat. Okay, backroom time. Literally, absolutely nothing. Oh, and Monica's holding the same pen. Yeah. Now I don't have to worry about bumping your arm. Monica playfully rubs her shoulder against Yuri's. Sorry, I'm just being silly, I guess. Anyways, how about you start by listing the different things you want to say? Is there actually 2 desks? I can't see a defined line. Anything in the back? No. Yeah, no. Yuri thinks. I feel embarrassed if all of a sudden. Oh, it's okay. How about some of the things you said to me yesterday? But, never mind. I guess I'll try. Yuri thinks for a moment longer. Her tension evident. Then she writes the word reflection. This is about my reflection on our behavior. The key question is why we act like this towards each other, but have been able to separately be friends with Sayori and Monica. That's me. Yeah, it is. Yes, it is. So, Yuri thinks. I've been able to befriend the 2 of you because you've taken the time to understand my needs and respect my interests. The same goes for Natsuki too. We started off as pretty hostile to each other because I was so worried about getting what I wanted. But she ain't writing anything down, bruh. Absolutely nothing. I was so worried about getting what I wanted, but she just wanted to be respected more than anything else. Once I stopped making it all about me, she was able to do the same. I want to do that too. So what kinds of things do you want to do for her? I want to do the same things for her like I like to receive. I like it when people respond positively to the things I talk about and not just brush me off. I like it when my feelings are taken seriously. And I like when you and Sayori trust that I want to be a good person, even when I'm not doing a good job at it. Let's write those things down. Okay. Yuri write some things down. I think the most important thing is to remember that Natsuki is feeling vulnerable. So we should make sure that the letter puts her first. It's hard when you're feeling hurt, but it never helps to just tell someone all the time, all the things that they're doing wrong. I think first you have to make sure that they don't. Oh, there is something written down now. I think first you have to make sure that they know you're ready to respect them and listen to them. And admit the things that you're feeling. Admit the things that you feel you could do better. Then finally, you ask what you would like in return. How does that sound for the structure? It could be 3 paragraphs, 1 for each of those points. I like that. My thoughts were so disorganized. I had no idea how to come up with any kind of structure. You're so amazing at these things. Oh, stop. You've done so much more than I have, you know? You spent so much time reflecting and being open-minded. That's the hardest thing for anyone to do. All I'm doing is helping you put it on a piece of paper. So I think you're the amazing one. Monica gives Yuri's hand a quick squeeze. But as she lets go, she's caught by surprise when Yuri curls her fingers to hook Monica's hand in place. Dude, she's not doing that. Dude, that is anything but what she's doing. For a while, they sit like that in silence, save for the occasional scratching of Yuri's pen against the paper. Yesterday, you told me something that I'm thinking about a lot. Hold on. Yesterday you told me something that I'm thinking about a lot. What was that? The thing about how feelings aren't right or wrong, and that they're just a state of being we need to come to terms with. It made me think about how a person's behavior isn't always just how they decide to be. It's also made up of their past experiences and their insecurities. I think that helps me see other people as actual people, rather than as insignificant side characters who are out to get me somehow. Is that how you felt about Natsuki? Yuri nods. But in reality, everyone is always trying their best, and everyone wants to be happy. Monica peers over at Yuri's paper. But to her surprise, Yuri pulls it in closer, partially covering it with her arm. I have to be able to read it to help you out, you know. It's okay. My thoughts are a lot more organized now that I'm being able to talk to you about it. I'm actually putting it on paper. I realize I'd really prefer others not to read it. Yuri laughs softly to herself, a rare expression. I'm kind of glad to hear that, actually. I somehow keep finding ways to butt into this whole thing. I've done enough damage, haha. But it's also been wonderful talking about this. I mean, I always thought you were really smart, but Yuri smiles. I'll always be terrible at these things. People are just so incomprehensible to me. I never get the hang of being one. But listening to you so much has really helped me make sense of some things. So just don't call it damage, please. Monica gives Yuri a gentle smile. I can't believe I came to this club looking for fantasy geeks, and all I got was real friends who value me. Is that a joke? Of course it is. I still can't tell with you. Sorry. No, I love it. Please never change. As you wish. Yuri glances at the clock. We're almost out of time. Will you be able to finish? Before the end of the day, probably. But I don't want to come to the club the same day that Natsuki reads it. I'm too shy. I can give it to her instead if you like. Yuri nods. As long as you promise not to read it. Of course, I promise. Thank you. Yuri exhales and the two stand up. I'll message you when it's ready. Monica nods. Good luck. I'm here if you need me. Yuri turns a nod. And the two depart. Boom. Pictures. Oh. Last side story. Self-love part 1. Begin the side story. It's only been one day since Yuri's letter was delivered to Natsuki with Monika's help. Because Yuri chose not to attend the club meeting that day, she and Natsuki haven't faced each other since. Although it's only lunchtime, Yuri finds herself anxiously counting the hours until she will need to face the outcomes of her efforts, whether good or bad. And because passing by of the students was making her feel even more anxious, Yuri picked out the most secluded spot she could find to spend her lunch. Because their staircase is under maintenance, no students would have any reason for coming here. For such a relaxing feeling to have a moment of solitude in the middle of a frantic school day. Eep, what are you doing here? Um, I just... Yuri grips her book with enough force to wrinkle the pages beneath the pressure of her thumbs. Well, what are you doing here? I just came to get a drink from the vending machine. The other one is out of the drink I like. Yuri notices Natsuki fidgeting with a few coins between her fingers. She nods, avoiding eye contact. Natsuki is also looking away, shuffles over to the vending machine. It's so quiet that every one of her movements seems to reverberate through the entire stairwell. After far along, she finally receives her beverage, which she then fidgets with in place of the coins. It's some kind of iced tea. But instead of leaving right away, Natsuki stands in place. She glances around. She glances all around her. It's like way too quiet back here. It's creepy. I mean, that's not what I meant, really. I meant it's totally cool that it's your thing, or whatever. Like, I can see how it suits you, so... Not because I think you're creepy or something. I didn't mean that either. You know, I'm just gonna stop talking. That seems like a good idea. It's okay. Everything is okay. Yuri finds herself attempting some words of comfort after hearing Natsuki stammer herself into dejection. Seemingly in response, Natsuki approaches the base of the staircase and hesitantly sits herself down near Yuri. Well, I can leave if you want. Yuri shakes her head. Natsuki twists the cap off her drink and takes a sip. Despite receiving Yuri's general permission, Natsuki doesn't say anything more. Yuri continues to read, or at least pretends to. And the two just sit there for a long time. The tension seems to fade a little bit as time passes. Even without any words, this seems to mean at least something, though it's not clear what that may be. Lunch ends more quickly than expected. Natsuki is the first to stand up with her empty drink bottle. Are you coming today? To the club? Yuri nods. I'm sorry for being so awkward. I'm really bad at talking about this stuff. I just can't for some reason. I don't know why. But I want to, eventually. There's no rush. I promise. Thanks. It's the next day. Natsuki appears from around the corner and steps up to the vending machine, glancing at Yuri as she does so. Today she seems to be holding some kind of book as well. Oh, you're here again. Well, I just came here to read this because there aren't many people around here. Oh? I thought you didn't like how quiet it was. Well, I don't, but there's no people here. I see. Natsuki sits down. The mood feels different today than it did yesterday. After yesterday's lunch and the club meeting that followed, Natsuki and Yuri are beginning to feel more relaxed around each other again. Although Yuri's letter is still lingering in the back of Natsuki's mind, she continues to detour around it. But it's okay that I'm here? Yeah, I don't care. I mostly just don't feel like dealing with the crap I get from my friends about it. Especially since, they all just assumed I stopped reading manga after I joined the literature club. Not that I'm trying to hide it from them, actually. But I just don't want it to come up again now that after I've waited so long for this new. You don't have other friends who are into manga? Not unless online friends count. And Sayori, but that's different because she's not exactly into it. She just likes it. You know what I mean? Honestly, you're lucky that the books you're into at least just look like books, so you don't have to feel like everyone is consistently judging you by what you're reading. That would be so awful, especially since I already hate attention so much. Well, it's a good thing I have thick skin, I guess. By the way, I would totally recommend finding some friends online if you haven't already. If you're like me and have no one to share your hobbies with. I have online friends. Since middle school, actually, I was especially desperate back then. It's somewhat embarrassing to reminisce about those days. Sometimes I feel like the me from a few years ago would have benefited from a good smack across the face. Oh, whatever. We were all just stupid kids back then anyway. Some of the fanfics I wrote, thank God I used a pseudonym. But I liked it at the time. And I got a fulfillment out of it. And plus, I can look back and say with confidence that I've become a better person since then. Dude, become a better person since then. So I don't think I would change anything. I wonder if a few years from now we'll think of the same thing about our current selves. Probably. That doesn't make you uncomfortable? No, of course not. I don't care what other people think of me, especially someone who doesn't even exist yet. Alright, here. you